What's up, fans? Welcome to the show. There's news going around and rumors that Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to become the general manager of Monday Night Raw. So that's what's up Stephanie McMahon's sleeve? Is that Stephanie is going to call out Stone Cold to be the GM of Monday Night Raw? Let's get into the news, guys. The moment WWE fans have been waiting for is only a few short days away, as the WWE draft is set to take place on the July 19th on the debut of SmackDown live on the USA Network. Now, every single employee on the WWE roster will learn that fate on Tuesday night, whether they will property of SmackDown or Monday Night Raw. On the July 11th edition of WWE owner, CEO and chairman of Vince McMahon announced that his son, Shane McMahon, would be the commissioner of SmackDown, while his daughter, Stephanie, would take over the role of commissioner for Raw. Vince also announced that each commissioner will be required to hire a general manager to run the show and they're absent. Now, on Tuesday, Shane sent out this tweet to announce that he found his general manager. Shane says, "I'm very excited to announce that the terms who agreed today with the new SmackDown GM. The person who will be revealed live this Monday on Raw." I'm pretty excited to see who it is. It was meant to be a bit of a tease to WWE fans to create speculation on who could possibly be the general manager of SmackDown. Unfortunately, it seems that was an oversight on behalf of someone on the WWE staff. As a clue to who would be the SmackDown general manager, hit the WWE app according to the Big Lead. Although it's not official, that mistake seems to give a pretty strong indication that Shane McMahon has selected Daniel Bryan as the general manager for SmackDown. The selection makes perfect sense, as Bryan, who was forced to retire from the WWE action and become a head injury. Being SmackDown general manager will allow Daniel Bryan to be part of the WWE and connect with the fans that love him so much. I love Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was a good performer. He was good in the ring, and he was a good champion. I liked what Daniel Bryan brought to the table. He had so many concussions to his whole career of professional wrestling, and he just never told people, So when Daniel Bryan came out that night and said that, he was forced to retire of WWE because, the doctors told him that he was forced to retire, like he couldn't do anything. He had to retire from the WWE. People were upset, people were sad, people were mad, people were pissed off at WWE because he had to retire, and WWE and the WWE fans did not want Daniel Bryan to retire from the WWE. I didn't want him to retire either because, in my opinion, I thought there was a lot more on his plate that he could have done for this company. But like I said, if he had to retire from the WWE, my opinions were have him train at the Performance Center, have him train the NXT stars. He can do that. He can still be part of WWE. Now, Daniel Bryan has never been a GM of SmackDown before, so this would be a huge opportunity for him. It would be a huge job for him. It'd be something different, something creative, something that Daniel Bryan has never done before. So this would be a bigger step for him and a bigger job than performing for people. Being a GM, man, is more harder as a job than wrestling in a ring, in my opinion, because your job is on the line as the GM, and you got to give the fans what they want. Okay? Now, as far as Raw, Steve McMahon's plans aren't as clear. According to Bleacher Report, some of the options including Sting, Edge, Foley. Now, Kurt Angle was a GM. He was a GM of SmackDown. Mick Foley was a GM too. And Edge, I wouldn't want to have Edge as a GM. And I wouldn't want to have Sting as a GM either. I want to have Stone Cold as a GM. Back in 2003, when Eric Bischoff and Stone Cold were GMs, 50-50, man, I loved it. I loved when I want Eric Bischoff back in the WWE. I want him back on Raw. Eric Bischoff said he would have no problem coming back to WWE and helping them out and being that GM of Raw. Then bring Stone Cold back. Stone Cold was awesome as the general manager. You know, when Eric Bischoff and Stone Cold had the 50-50 thing, you know, they had to agree on things. They had to work together. And sometimes Stone Cold didn't agree on things. Some of the things Stone Cold did without Eric Bischoff's permission. But I loved it. It was entertainment. That's what I liked about it. Stone Cold was a good general manager. I don't have a problem with that, you know. He was a GM back in the Attitude Era, though. I remember that in the Attitude. I think it was in '99. You know, he made a match for I think Vince McMahon and stuff. But I think it was only like a one-night thing, I think. But he was a GM too back in 2003. I think it's best for business to have Stone Cold back as well. I think if you bring Stone Cold back, it'd be awesome because, you know, when Stone Cold wrestled in 2003, you know, he had to stop. He couldn't wrestle no more. So they brought him back. They brought him back to WWE in 2003 as the new general manager of Raw. And Linda brought him out, and it was awesome. The fans went ballistic. People went nuts. So I'd have no problem with Stone Cold coming back, and I wouldn't have a problem with bringing Eric Bischoff back and have one of them control Raw. Stone Cold could do a good job. Stone Cold knows the business. Stone Cold knows the business of the WWE. He's been there. He's done that. He's done it. He's worked there. He knows what good matches are. Okay? He tried to make Kane, when Kane unmaxed himself, right, in 2003, and the Big Red Machine came out, you know, Stone Cold tried to make this guy, made Kane a machine that he used to be, you know, climb higher in his career. Stone Cold tried doing that, you know. Now, Stephanie really can't go wrong with any of the 5 options presented by Bleacher Report, but there's one guy in particular that would really excite the WWE fans and that is Steve Austin. I want Austin back, and I want Eric Bischoff back. Sorry that I'm repeating myself, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe Vince wants to bring Austin back because Vince knows that, you know, Eric Bischoff and Stone Cold were GMs. Now, Austin, one of the most belonged superstars in WWE history, and Steve Austin currently hosts the most popular WWE podcast titled the Stone Cold Podcast. Austin was one of the most skilled wrestlers of all time and on the microphone, and bringing him back into the fold on a regular basis would currently be a way for the WWE to boost ratings. Yes, that will bring ratings if you bring Austin back as a GM. Now, Steve also experienced as he served the co-general manager of Raw following the retirement in 2003, which, you know, I talked about that already. Austin did a great job with the role, and many thought his tenure came to an end early too soon. It did come an end too soon. Now, Steve's ability to bring spontaneity and excitement to Raw 13 years ago could go a long way in a landing him role on this time around. Who doesn't want Steve Austin tormenting the McMahons on a weekly basis? During the Attitude Era, Austin's ability to rile up the McMahons clan was one of the most entertaining things about the show. Steve is unpredictable, and fans appreciate more than the predictable scripting that's been happening in WWE over the last few years. I hate when WWE script things because the wrestlers can't do nothing. Steve also experienced his sign run as Now who doesn't want to see? Okay. I see it. If the McMahons want better ratings, then Stone Cold Steve Austin has to be the pick of the general manager of Raw. What do you guys think? Do you want to see Stone Cold as the general manager of Raw or not? I think it's a good idea. I think it's better if you have him as the GM of Raw and you have Eric Bischoff in it too, because if you put Eric Bischoff and you put Stone Cold together, man, you're going to get a funny product. You're gonna get an Austin product because these two always went back and forth, you know, in 2003, man. So that's what I think they should do, man. That will bring ratings if you put these two together, Eric Bischoff and Austin, again. So what do you guys think about this? I want your opinions, guys. Make sure you check out my news on WWE splitting up the tag teams, guys, because of the draft that's coming up and the brand split that's coming up, guys. Go check that episode out as well. Until then, guys, hit that like button, guys, and subscribe to the show. I'll see you on the next show, guys. Subscribe.